Yeah. So just before we discussed about the server level roles, right? So now we are going to discuss about the user level roles. Okay. So here, before going to the user level roles, we need to understand what is the login and what is the user. Okay. So the login is the server level entity. Okay. Server level entity means you can able to the activities in the server level operations. So user is the database level entity. So you can able to perform the activities in the database level. So here the one more thing is like without login, the user cannot able to log in. So that means if you want to create the users, that means we have to create the login and we have to map the that login in the database level so that the user will create under the database level. So in the real time, what they will tell, can you please create a one account? Can you please create a one login? Can you please create a one user? That means we have to create a login and we have to provide the permissions accordingly. So sometimes they will ask create a account. The account means login or user. But while creating the user, go to security, create the login and map the user. Okay, let me show here. Go to login. So generally the people what they will do, if you don't have real-time knowledge, what they will do, create a user. What they will do, directly go to here, go to database, then what you will go to security. Here also we can do, not an issue. But real time, what we will do? Right click, security, new user. While creating the new user, it will ask map the login as well. See here, SQL Server with login. We have to create a login or we have to browse it. Then you have to provide the username. So that is the reason. If they ask anyone, create the user. That means create the login from the server level and map that login to this particular database so that the user will create automatically under this particular user. So that is the reason the login is server level entity, the user is database level entity or database level principal. So now that is the different. The one more thing is like one login will have multiple users. That means one login can map multiple databases. But one user can able to map only one login. That is the main difference. So if anyone asks, what is the difference between login and user? Login is the server level entity, server level principal. The user is the database level entity, database level principal. One login will have multiple users. One user have only one login. So now we are discussing about the database level roles. Go for security. So we got a request, create a login or create an account, create a user on the database. I got a request like create a login for Adi Lab. Create a login for or create a user Adi Lab. Create an account for Adi Lab. Then what we can do? Go to here, go to security, then go to logins, create a new login. Okay. So create a one user or login. Create a one account. One minute. I will create a user like given user. So I'm going to discuss about the so I get an application account, app account, the password. Enforce password. I'm going to the user mapping. Then go for Adilab. This is the database level roles. We are going to discuss about these things. For that, this app account login, if you go to user mapping, if you map to Adilab, what are the, if you give this role, what he will do? So we need to understand this many database level roles. So if I give the security admin, what he will do? If I give the DB owner, what he will do? If I give the deny data writer, what he will do? If I give the deny data reader, what he will do? So kind of in the database level, not for the server level. So now we are going to, if someone asks, can you explain the what are the database level roles? So you can start explanation. These all things. Don't give the numbers. Database levels roles under the database level. Those are access admin, backup operator, data reader, data writer, DDL admin, deny data reader, deny writer, DB owner, security admin, and public. And you can ask, can I explain each and every role? Okay. If they ask, you have to explain. Okay. So that is the reason you need to understand all this explanation. So now, first I will go for data reader. Okay. So this particular app admin, I'm giving the data reader. If I give the data reader permission on the database level, what he will do? Okay. What he will do is kind of like by looking at the name, reader. Reader means he can able to select. He can able to read the data. Read means he can able to select the data. He can able to view the data. That is the reason if you go for data reader, he can able to fetch the reports. He can able to select the data. He can able to read the data. So just now I'm giving the data reader. So I'm generating the script. Okay. Wait, come on. So if you generate a script, what will do? First, it will create the login. Then that login will map to this user. Then it will it will add the permission. Go for script. You can understand. So first it will create the login to the server level. Then that login will map to that particular database level. Then it will give the permission on that particular database. What are the you're seeing in the screen? That will happen. First login will create. That login will map it to that particular user. So whenever they create the login and mapping the database, automatically the same name as a login the user will create, and the user permission will giving like a alter role data reader add member. So interview they will ask what are the I want to give the permission for select permission. What permission you are going to give? You have to tell data reader. For that, the command is alter role db underscore data reader add member account name. So you have to remember this syntax to giving the data reader permission, select permission, or fetching the reports, or viewing the data. So let me execute. If I execute, okay, what will happen? So just refresh it, then go for database, then Adilab, then go to user. Where is app admin? See app account. So right now app account created. Previously app account is not there. Once I create the login, once I map that login to this particular database, one account is created. If you want to check the permission, you can check here also. What we can do? Go for security, then go for logins, right click, app account, properties, the login, then go for user mapping. Okay. So here, just I mapped the user login. If you see, the user automatically, it create same as a login. If you want to, you can change it, but don't change it. Always better recommendation is go for user and login with the same name. And here, if you see here, data reader, I will explain DPO, like a schema. Tomorrow I will explain what is a schema. Can we create default schema like that? Okay. So by default schema, DPO. Okay. If we want, we can change it as well. So once we give the general login name, then if you go for user mapping, then go for database, just click it. Here no need to provide the username. Just once you give the permission, automatically the user will create map will here. So if you want to check database, what you can do? Go here, database level, then go to security, then go to users, then go to that particular user created, go to properties. See, the login name. Where is the login name is app account. The username is app account. What is the membership? If you go membership, data reader. So let me connect and perform some activities. That account, what exactly you can able to do? Right click, database engine, connect. What is the user? SQL authentication. What is the account? What is the account? APP. App account. Password. Same, let me see. Password they didn't give. Let me reset. I think I guess APP account. APP, yes. The username is spelling wrong. App account. Yeah. So let me, if you want to, you can test it all the server levels. You can able to create the login. You can able to delete the login. You can able to create the database. If you want, you can test it. You can able to do those kind of activities. So now we can check the permissions in the database level. So right now I have given the permission for the AdiLab database, but the user can able to see all the databases which are under the particular instance. So here we have a security violations. Okay, these things I will explain in the SOC control. Okay, so here right now I have given the permission for AdiLab. So that means if you want to explain, you can able to explain. You can able to see the data. Why? Because I have given the AdiLab permission. So if you want to access or check the Adi database, you will get an error. See, if you are going to go for plot, you will get the error. Why? Because while creating the login and creating the user, we mapped only AdiLab database. So that is the reason you can able to see the data from AdiLab, but you cannot able to see the other database data. But even though the user can able to see what are the customers hosted on that particular instance. So here, for that, how can we avoid? That is a separate topic. But now we are discussing about the database level roles. So here I have given the permission for AdiLab database for data reader. So if I give the data reader permission, what exactly he will do? So what I'm going to do? So I want to get the data. Select star form. You can able to fetch the data. Suppose you want to drop the data. So our requirement is select. You can able to get the data and you can able to view the data. Why? Because we have given the data header. So let me try to delete the table. Delete table name. So that is the reason we need some basic commands for how to create the table, how to delete the data table, how to enter the data, how to modify the table data. So we need some basic T-SQL commands. Not much of proficient, at least some basic understanding. Let me delete the table. See, syntax is delete table name correct, right? See, I don't have much knowledge for here also. Let me go here. Oh, drop table. What I do? Delete I. See, the user doesn't have permission to drop the data. Suppose I want to insert the data. We don't have permission to enter the. See, the insert permission is denied on the object. Why? Because we have given only for select permissions. You don't have the permission for insert. You don't have permissions for insert. You don't have permission delete, and you cannot able to update. You cannot able to modify the data. This is let me able to later. So that is the reason. Don't go for graphical user interface. You have to go for T-SQL. So that is the purpose of giving the permission for data reader. Okay. So let me disconnect here. Let me go for one more. Data writer. So if I give the data writer, what he will do? He can able to insert the data. I don't think he won't delete, but let me check it. If you give the data writer, he can able to only insert, not update, delete. These two things are wrong. So okay, we'll check it. So if you give data writer, he can able to only insert the data. You cannot able to select, you cannot able to modify, you cannot able to delete, you can able to only insert the data. So what I'm going to do? Right click, logins, new logins. I will get app, uh, app, app W. Wait permission. Okay. Then go for user mapping. then go for Adi Lab, then I will go for data writer. Okay. Script. See the difference. Okay. Login will creating. We're giving the first we'll create the login, the password, then go to the database. It will map the database. It is giving the permission. I want to give the insert permission. I want to write permission. I want to insert some data. Which permission you have to give? So data writer. Can you give the syntax? Alter role db underscore data writer add member to username. The last one is username. This is the role syntax. After add member, this is the username. I'm going to execute. Once I execute, come here. Go for security. Go for logins. Okay. So here, app W. If you go for user mapping, if you go here, Adi Lab database, app W user. If we highlight it, we can see data writer. Okay. Let me connect to that particular user. Right click, not a database engine. Then go for SQL user app W. You give the password, then connect it. So let me try to fetch the data first. You will get accident. So why? Because we have given only insert permission, not for the select. That is the reason is getting denied permission. So let me try to update the data, insert the data, not update. Go for edit rows. Which user I logged in? Previously it got this session stuck in the previous one. Okay, let me go for another table. This session is still pointing to the previous one. Let me go for bank accounts. Huh? Previous one. I can go for some syntax based. Okay. FW logins. Right. Let me take some DDL. Okay, that is better. I will ask Copilot only. Where is it? Second. Got stuck there. So that is the reason you must require some basic T sequence. So here I'm searching for the command for to insert the data. So I'm entering the data. So here, if I go for, I log in with the app, right? Go for Adilab. Because I have some data. See, data is inserted. So that means I can able to write. So let me try to check what are the records inside that particular bank accounts. If I go for select, what I'm getting? I'm getting the error select permission is denied. Why? Because we have given write permission, not for the select and some other permission. So if you want to, in a user ask for giving the write permission, we have to give DB data reader. So before this topic, I gave one statement, right? One login having multiple users, but one user having only one login. Let me show you here. So here, if you go for app W, okay. So this is the login. If you go for user, the login mapped to the one database. So the same login, I'm going to map one more database. So that means one login having multiple users for multiple database. So that is the reason one login having multiple users. If I go for here, data reader. Here don't confuse. This is the login. One login will have one user or multiple user based upon the user mapping. If you go here, if I click here, Adilab app W user. If I map it to the DB tool, the login is app W, the username is app W. So let me go here. DB tools. If you go here, database, if you go for Adilab, go for security, go for users, go for app W. Check here. One user, one login. We cannot see multiple logins, right? So one user, one login. One more DB tools. If you go for security, then you go for users, app W, the username app W, login name app W. So that is the thing. One login will have multiple users, but one user having only one login. Okay. Let me go for another thing. Okay. Here, what is the there is deny. One more is missing, but I will explain. Yeah. So here we can see deny data reader, deny data writer. Okay. So here is the trick. We have to go for some concentrate. Okay. We need to put some concentrate to understand this terminology. Okay. So here deny data reader. What is that means? If I give the deny data reader, okay, you cannot able to do the select permissions. That is the meaning. But here, if I give the permission as a writer, you cannot able to do the select write. So then what is the purpose of deny data reader? Let me explain, give me one more thing. So deny data reader means if you give the deny data reader permission on the database, you cannot able to see, you cannot able to view, you cannot able to read, you cannot able to select the data. That is the meaning. Suppose the user having data write permission. That means the user can able to only write or insert the data, but he cannot able to select write. So then what is the point of deny data reader? Okay. So here deny data reader means like here let me go for here. Data reader, you can able to only read. Deny means you cannot able to select. But in the background, somebody grant the select permission. Okay. Not directly in the database level role. It did not give the read permission. But in the object level, in the securables level, he grant as a select permission. So that he can able to do select as well. So right now I have given the data writer. That means he cannot able to select. But in the back end, in the back door, now what I'm going to do? I'm going to give select permission on the table. See here. If I run the select star from bank accounts, I'm getting like a select permission is denied. But now what I'm going to do in the back end, or maybe we can call like a backdoor. I'm giving like a grant permission. Which one I'm going to? Adi Lab database. Data writer. So I'm going to secure. Here I did not give any select permission. But what I'm going to do? I'm going to grant in the object level. These are the database level. So I'm going to inside the low level database object level. I'm going to grant select permission to the particular table or all the tables so that you can able to select permission as well. Let me go for securables. Then go for search. Then go select for the all the objects type. Then click OK. No. So here what I have to do? I have to go for database level. Let me go here. So for that permission, what I'm going to do? For object level, what I have to do? I have to go to the user level security, not for the login level security. Why? Because we are going to give the grant permission on the database level, right? So that is the reason. Go for database, then go for security. See, this account having right permission, but in the background or in the object level, I'm going to provide select permission. So for that, right click, go for properties, then go for securables, then search it, then select all the objects, then click OK. Now we can see all the objects in the database level. So what I'm going to do, I'm selecting the tables. If I select the tables, in the bottom we can see what are the tables I want to provide grant, I want to give some permissions. So right now what I'm going to do, in the database I have multiple tables. I want to select grant permission on this particular table. So select. In the database level, I'm giving data writer, but inside object level, I'm granting the select permission on that particular account. Right click, security. So grant, select to that particular account. Interview it will ask, how can you give the single table permission? How can you grant the single table read permission? How can you give the single stored procedure permission? The keyword is like grant. If it is select, you can give select. If it is insert, you have to give insert. If you go update, you have to give update. So here, it may be stored procedure, it may be table also. So just I'm going to execute. So now executed. Just let me refresh here. So let me go here one more time. Go for database, AdiLab, new query, right click. So here I'm going to 500, I'm going to 600, I'm going to 700. Is able to insert. In the database level, I did not give the select permission, but in the object level, I give the select permission. Go and execute. See, you can able to get the data right. So to avoiding the object level, if someone is giving, I want to deny. So if we want to deny, what we can do, go here, go for login, go for AppW, go for user mapping. So go for AdiLab, go for deny data reader. Give this permission. Let's see what will happen. AdiLab, new query. I'm executing. Just I modify the values. Just inserting. Okay, 7, 9. Execute. So here, database level, I have given deny reader, and object level, I have given select permissions. So here, what will happen? Database level is it will take high priority. In the object level, it will take low priority. Now we will get the deny permission. See here, previously, you can able to select the data. Why? Because in the database level, secures, we have given the select permission. But in the database level, if you provide the deny reader, then if you inside give grant also, that grant won't work. Why? Because database level role go for high level, and database object level take low level priority. So that is the reason the data reader play the major role. Okay. So let me stop the recording. Tomorrow morning, we can discuss about other 3 things and other few topics. Okay. I hope you understand for what is the purpose of deny radar. The same vice versa for data deny variety as well. We can see tomorrow practical example. But this is the key important. Don't confuse it. If you have the data radar, why you need to go for deny? The interview will ask. Then you have to be able to explain. The database level is the high level control compared to the object level. Somebody inside the give the grant level, that scenario, that object level it won't take, server level role it will consider. Let me stop recording.